On May 22nd, 2024, I uploaded The Importance of Love Life Sunshine, a very quick video essay on Sunshine, how it fits to the Love Life world. Now before that, I released a video about the Internet Checkpoint and Persona 2, but I don't really count those are prototypes, this is the official start. And really quickly, let's look at how I talked in my first video compared to the most recent Love Life video I made. When it comes to Love Life recently, there's been a surplus of content. 4 groups they're maintaining, 5 if you count the musical, multiple anime seasons, and movies coming out. They're pretty on board with everything, well except the games. Love Life, arguably one of the most influential and important idol series in the world. Starting in 2010 with their abysmal sales, to now spawning multiple groups that have concerts almost every day at this point, Love Life sure has come a long way. Damn, my tone definitely got a bit happier. Man, I was depressed back then. I mean, I still am, but you know. Anyway, over the course of the year, I produced so many videos ranging from short to long, and I've learned a lot of things regarding titling my videos, making thumbnails, and improving my workflow immensely. Back then, I used to release 1 video per week, or worse, 1 video every other week, but now I'm at a workflow where I'm able to produce videos more often, along with uploading shorts more frequently. The time I spend on editing has decreased, while the quality of it has increased, or at least I hope so. 1 year is nothing to necessarily scoff at, and to celebrate it, let's look back at all the videos I made, the reasons behind them, and why I made them in the first place. I'll take you through the process of creating a video, the steps involved, the equipment used, and at the end I'll have a quick Q&A session for those that answered my community post I made a while back. So, let's get started. Firstly, one has to have an idea in order for a video to get started. Shocker, I know. Now, I've addressed this in the previous video somewhere, but I have 2 rules for making a video. If it does not follow these rules, then I won't make it. Some people are not aware of it and suggest video ideas that, being frank, I'm not gonna make it because of my inhibitor rings per se. These rules are, the video must express how I feel, or the video must express how someone else feels, either it be a fictional character or a real person. Now, these rules have an asterisk next to them because these rules are pretty simple. These rules have been injected into all the videos I made, but there's an extra level to how I express it. I could upload a raw 10-minute video of me talking about my feelings and that would count within the rules, but that's not how I want to do things. I want my feelings and expressions to be structured, to be focused, to be given time, and that usually ends up with a video essay that most of you know me for. It's the reason why I'm not going to be a news channel. I'm not going to be a Let's Play channel. That's not the type of content I want to create right now. Doing Let's Plays is for streams, and news and other stuff is for the short/TikToks because those sometimes don't follow the rules. I'm very picky on this stuff, but if I don't resonate with the video, I'm not going to make it. Being your own boss and creator comes with some benefits, and one of them is knowing when to shut something down immediately. There have only been 2 videos I canceled so far in this year, and that was a scrap video where I beat up Kasumi, and a video where I vent about my thoughts. Both of these were unstructured, unfocused, and for the one where I vent my thoughts, even though I did express my thoughts, which is part of rules, it wasn't structured or focused, so I didn't bother editing it. I can't just do a topic, I need to be very specific. I can't talk about Bluebird, I need to talk about something specific with it. Look at my D4DJ videos, those have a very focused topic. I hope that explains myself in regards to potential video ideas that I might not do, like tier listing all Love Life games. I'll save that for a stream. Now for the actual idea and script. Once I have a solid idea for a video, let's say why Nijigasaki doesn't suck, which is a video I made, I have to ask, what are the main ideas I want to express here? Well, I want to talk about Nijigasaki. I want to talk about its rough history and how many thought of it when it started out, along with my own thoughts on its history. The idea is focused, and while not structured just yet, it fits one or both of the rules. From there, the research phase begins. Now, the research is very dependent on the video I'm working on. If it's a video game, I gotta either download footage of it or record it myself if it's extremely accessible, like the end of video. If not, then I'm gonna have to go out of my way to get the sources I need. One thing I always try to do is credit any sources I've used, as most are independent creators uploading content they do, such as gameplay with no commentary. I'll stress it here if I haven't, but if anyone does see footage or images that they own and want removed, please let me know, I'm not that evil. The difficult part about using other people's footage is that sometimes, large chunks of certain videos are dependent on the creators. For example, School Idol Festival is down, and it's hard to get footage of the scouting for Liela, so I had to download someone else's video. The Sif and Sifa stories are no longer officially publicly available, so I have to download those as well. And if I'm talking about a manga, I need to obtain the panels. If I'm talking about a show, I need to grab clips from the show in whatever way I need to. Being real, the hardest types of videos to make from my experience are anime videos or TV shows. These are so hard to get clips for, and I understand why, but you will either have to deal with subs being on screen, watermarks everywhere, or low quality footage. It is so annoying, and it's even more so annoying when I have a legal account that I used to watch it, but God forbid I want to capture a clip for editing because everything's online and streaming. And I'm not going to mention the other method for safety reasons, but no, that's my last resort. Love Life is quite literally the only exception to this rule, as I knew I was going to be making a lot of Love Life videos, so I actually have all of them legally on my computer ready for immediate use. I won't lie, doing this is probably the reason I can get those Love Life videos out at the speed I can because everything's just there. Essentially, workflow and accessibility. We're going to get more on that soon, but let's move on to script writing. Now, I am not the best at writing. I tend to rant and go off topic a lot of times, but here's the general structure for what I do. I follow the basic essay format I was taught in school. Hook, intro, thesis, then talking points, transition through other talking points until we reach the end and then the conclusion. Now, within that structure are a lot of variables, so some segments can be rearranged or longer than others. I used to grow up with Nintendo and, you know, retro gaming YouTubers who often did skits. Back then we called it the JonTron videos because he sort of pioneered that kind of content. Or maybe AVGM because he was the pioneer of a pioneer or something like that. Peanut Butter Gamer. Anyway, those videos are intended to be informative while also being funny, and back in my old videos, I tried to do the same, be funny. I don't like rewatching my old videos. Some jokes do not land, and I try not to go too far in my videos. Like, I won't have a 5-minute segment where I go outside for like 1 bit. I know that can derail people after a certain amount of time, so I do try to stay focused for like a little bit. My sense of humor also changes over time, so what I may consider funny may be the most embarrassing thing ever, and I'm shocked people don't roast me in the comments for it. I use Google Docs with a dark mode extension, Arial, 12-point bold text, and single space to type out my scripts. I don't get professional such as writing it in a screenplay format, but for certain bits, I will add little notes if I plan to do something incredibly ambitious, or I need to record this in live action. For those that are curious, 6 pages is usually around the 10-minute mark, so I try to visualize how long the video is going to be based on that formula. If the video topic is super big, like a 1-hour video on Hasunosora or Lonzu or Love Life's popularity, I do sometimes have people peer review, either those that know Love Life or outside the Love Life sphere just to gain a second opinion. And if I interview someone, I try to get their approval if I use their words a lot. For most of my videos though, I don't let anyone else watch it. This is my channel, not yours. I get embarrassed having someone watch my videos, including this one. But now that everything's been finalized, it's time to actually start creating the work that you see in the videos, beginning with audio. So this is my microphone. It's a Maono USB microphone. I don't exactly remember the model, but any on Amazon is probably the one I have, mostly because it's not that pricey. Now the quality of the microphone is fine. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. What you're hearing right now though is not the actual sound. I use programs and effects to strengthen the quality and make it sound more decent. For starters, I use Voicemeeter, which is a virtual audio interface that allows you to edit your audio in real time. Many streamers you know use this as a way to micromanage audio levels, audio tracks, mute certain audio tracks. It's just really cool. And one of the really cool things is being able to adjust certain things, like how loud I want the mic, if I want a limiter, and if I accidentally scream a bit loud, and also a thing where audio won't pass through unless it reaches a certain decibel. So if I snap far away, I may need to adjust my settings. But these things help with the initial recording I make on Audacity. Now, for the way I record, admittedly, I'm not the best at this. I probably should have taken some vocal exercises because I'm not the best. Listen, it is literally just recording over and over and over again as I continue to eliminate each line and sentence, exactly what I'm doing right now. There are many cases where I say half of one and then say the other half in the recording. Sometimes it's noticeable, sometimes it isn't. The process of this usually takes a few hours with water breaks in between. I have asthma, so you know, my lungs are... I used to try to raw dog it, but please take breaks when you need to. And it's also here where I realized that I cannot pronounce English words for the life of me. Almost every time you hear me talk in the video is like the 5th or 6th take because it's so hard to say words. The times I do it in one take though are probably some of the best moments of my ego. And just to give you a quick idea and example, here's me recording myself recording the script. Some people are not aware of it. Some people are not aware of it and suggest video. Some people are not aware of it and suggest video ideas that, being frank, I'm not gonna make it because of my inhibitor rings per se. I could upload a raw 10-minute video of me talking about my feeling. I could upload a raw 10-minute. Okay, raw 10-minute. I could upload a raw 10-minute video. I could upload a raw 10-minute video of me talking about my feeling. For example, School Idol Festival is down and it's hard to get footage of the scouting for Liela. For example, School Idol Festival is down, and it's hard to get footage of the scouting for Liela, so I had to download someone else's video. After a long while, I exported it as a .wav, and here's the part you're probably interested in, the actual editing. So firstly, here are the programs I used. I used Premiere Pro, After Effects, and Photoshop, basically the whole Adobe sphere. That's all the information I'm going to give out to you. I use a program called Post Haste that basically creates templates for you. Now, Premiere Pro has templates in the program itself, but what Post Haste does is create a template for the actual video folder. So I made a custom template that makes folders for the footage I'm going to use, the images I'm going to use, and the specific project file I'm going to use. It's incredibly helpful and sets me up to start editing. Now, everyone has their own process for editing, aka their workflow, and I'm no different. The way I edit works for for me and may or may not work for you, but it usually gets split into 3 to 4 phases. The first phase is matching video to audio, or visual placing. I start off by placing the audio track in the timeline and start placing videos down. If I talk about love life, I place a love life video on the timeline. If I talk about myself, I place a video of myself. Just anything to have a visual on screen. I'm not worried about any edits, I'm just worried about making sure there's something on screen for the viewer to see. This is the one phase that takes the longest depending on the video I'm doing. Like I mentioned in the research phase, gathering clips and the like for a visual on screen is incredibly difficult and can increase the length of this phase by a lot. Along with just placing visuals, I sometimes insert placeholders for future edits I'm going to do. If I need to show an image, I'll just place the image with no transition. I'll worry about it later. My sprite appearing? I'll just place it here, I'll fix it later. If I get lazy, I sideline that stuff to the next phase, but the most important part is placing down footage. Just constant researching and I hate this phase. The good thing though is that after this, the rest is smooth sailing depending on if I'm putting over 100% into a video. The hardest part about making a video is choosing how much effort to put into it. For some context, I used to take a long time on videos. If you check some of my first videos, they're pretty long. I took a year to edit them. I've edited similar length videos in 3 days. That's how fast I've improved. And the one big factor in all of it is figuring out how much energy to put into it. I respect the hell out of those that go above and beyond for quite literally everything, even when they don't need to. I'm not that type of person though, and having a burnout when I was young with video editing and motion graphics taught me a lot about what I personally want to do. I don't half-ass my videos, or at least I don't try to. Each of my videos has a core part of me that I've made sure is retained in the video, and the editing is meant to heighten that. I don't necessarily need to go above and beyond for a video where I'm talking about a light novel. It can just be expressing my raw emotions because that's my intention. If I'm doing a video essay, I have to put in a bit more work with the visuals as those are more educational and require more evidence to be shown, thus increasing the editing. I remember seeing this inspirational quote and it was like, just make it exist first. You can make it good later. The reason why those old videos took a year to make was because I was so focused on making it perfect, free from any flaws. But having that quote in my mind made me rethink how I make videos. Just make it exist first. I can make it better later. And those that have been on this journey with me see how much I progressed in terms of effort and speed just by continuing to make stuff. Growth will come to you naturally as you slowly start picking up tips and tricks as you keep going. This is where we transition to phase 2 of editing. The professional phase. This is where I make things look clean. Any placeholder text and images I have, I actually animate to have some sort of presence. For anything that requires more professional editing, I usually place a black box to signify I need to do extra work on this, and I set aside time for it. I do transitions, and any other effects that I feel are needed, such as blurs and the like. I've sped up my process a ton with presets and certain extensions. High recommendation to the knights of the editing table. Extensions such as Excalibur help immensely with speeding up my workflow. Excalibur works similar to FX Console and After Effects, in which you can apply any effect by pulling up its own tab. Along with that, you can set presets to certain key combinations, and I've set a ton to my mouse buttons. I'm still learning to make new presets, but it definitely helps a lot, especially with repetitive effects and positions. Like, my sprite needs to be in a certain fixed position at all times, so I made a preset for it, and my mouse button can instantly apply the preset. Pretty cool. This is also where I can get experimental with certain effects if I get done early. If an idea pops in my head and I have time, I'll shove it in if I can. I've learned not to force too many ideas at me, or else I experience a burnout that goes on for over a year and causes major depression. Know your limits, they'll save you in the long run. When that phase is over and done with, it's time for the last steps, music and audio. When I said that the first phase was the longest, I was sort of lying. This can sometimes be the longest depending on if I can find the right music. Sound effects are pretty easy. At this point, I have a folder on sound effects I use consistently throughout my videos that you probably heard before. Music is a very touchy subject as it can really enhance the mood. This is still something I'm learning today, and you can tell when I fuck up and misplace the music in a tone that isn't appropriate. I kind of raw dog it mostly. If I'm talking sad, there needs to be sad music. If I'm talking about an intense moment, play some tense music. Over the past few years, I've grown a collection of music that I've divided into folders that, as you guessed, increase my workflow a ton. Helping with that is a template project file I have that's specifically catered to me. I have certain layers that have their levels adjusted, so when I play sound effects, they're already lowered so I don't have to do it manually. I have certain layers already made for certain purposes, and you get the idea. Fast forward the clock and we're done with the video. No, seriously, we're done. I do some final checks to see if the video is good, and then add the live action segments. Yeah, these are added last to the video because of how simple they are. The only issue is making sure I don't have any major changes to the script so I can smoothly ease them in. In fact, I'm doing the same for this video right now. Because of my amazing presence, I don't even need to do too much editing because I already do the editing with my movements. This is a joke, don't make fun of me. Okay, now we're done. Next on the chopping board is making a thumbnail. So I'm gonna be honest, as I'm recording this, I don't have the thumbnail ready. I deadass make these like an hour or a day before the video releases, so I can't show you the one for this video, but I can tell you how I make them. I'm still learning how to make thumbnails. Listen, I'm not a fucking professional. I'm an amateur at best. Take inspiration from what you see. What assets do they use? What kind of image structure do they use? One thing I will say to anyone who is doing YouTube is to take advantage of the ABC testing. This is a tool that allows you to submit free thumbnails that YouTube will randomize and send to people who see your video. If you get my video on your page, you may see this thumbnail, while someone else may see this thumbnail. It's a very clever way to test which thumbnail gets the most clicks, and the biggest advice I can give is to make sure each thumbnail is different from the other. By making each of them diverse, you'll have a better idea of what makes people click. And that's universal for any YouTube video, so take that for a grain of salt if you need to. And I hope you learned something in regards to my video making process, how I make videos, why I make videos, and those keen enough might see some secret messages and themes I put in the video that surface level viewers might not see, but who knows. Symbolism. And to end things off, I made 2 community posts asking for some questions for this video, so let's take a bit to answer them, and you can learn a bit more about me and how much I mumble when things are off script, which is starting right now. We're just gonna answer all the questions we can. It probably shouldn't take too long, but firstly, coming from Alpha Sama, who asks, which Love Life group do you think has the best songs in general? Do I be honest with myself, or do I want to get killed? It's probably Nijigasaki. This one comes from Yume Gipsu, who asks, what microphone do you use, and also who's your favorite Bluebird girl so far? I already said my microphone, which is the Maono USB, but my favorite girl is also Shion Sasaki. This one comes from Mr. Potato, asking, where do you get your editing style from? It seems so unique and polished. I'm interested to know if you've ever had previous editing experience. So, I've had tons of previous editing experience for multiple content creators, some content creators that are no longer around. But one of the most prominent ones I edited for was a Genshin YouTuber named Tronto. That was mostly for video highlights and such, not really video essays that I do now. But doing that did teach me a lot about presets and such. So video editing is pretty much universal. So any skills you learn from one style will naturally transition to the other. So that's some of my previous editing experience I've had. This one comes from Blue Dolphin 814. Are there any other topics other than Love Life that you want to branch off to? Or is Love Life going to be the main for the time being? Also, how do you feel making Love Life content on YouTube when the Love Life YouTube community is kind of dead and there's only like 3 to 4 other channels? A lot of the questions I got was very Love Life related, which some questions I can't answer because I want to make them their own video. Because I never thought I get to the point where some of my I like my most popular videos, the ones I really enjoy making are Love Life ones, but it's also kind of weird now. But are there any topics other than Love Life you want to branch off to? Yeah, I do want to branch off to a lot of things. People, and I'm gonna assume that you're talking about in the realm of like, idol stuff. If I ever get into it, I do want to make a Bandori video. Just video about Bandori, because I have some friends who are into Bandori. But regarding Love Life being the main thing, I try not to set myself, like I said, with the whole rules of the channel, I don't like try to limit myself, so I just do videos, and a bunch of them happen to be Love Life because I really do enjoy Love Life. Oh, the last question, fuck. How do you feel about making Love Life content on YouTube? It's definitely strange, because I've had both cases where some people know me on TikTok as well. It definitely does put a little bit of pressure on me, knowing that some people want certain content, like people like, oh, we got the Bluebird video coming out, and I'm like, this one comes from Tokyo Driftmon 2014. What was your favorite video to do so far? The Love Life popularity one has to be a very close one. Something about that Love Life popularity video and how you went to SakuraCon and how I started recording stuff. It was really fun. It was a brand new experience, and having a bunch of my friends join in, I learned a lot about my confidence skills. I overcame some confidence skills. That whole experience is going to be something incredibly memorable to me, and I can watch the Love Life popularity video and be like, wow, I did that. I really did that. Especially the fact that's one of my most popular video now is very, very cool. This one comes from I'm not gonna say that word. George Paul John, saying, how does it feel to become a respected member of a community in such a short time and have a good amount of people listen to your opinions? That is scary. That is horrifying. This one's probably one of the more serious questions I actually answer for this one. It's very pressure. It's very stress-inducing, knowing that the words you're gonna say are gonna be heard by people, and some people are gonna take it at face value. Back then, before 2025, I could just sort of raw dog it. You can probably watch those videos. I said the most dumbest shit ever in those videos. But starting from January, when I made that Love Life and Sonic video, my opinions started getting a bit more valued in a sense. I wouldn't say value, but like more people were listening to them, and that increases the chance of someone actually listening to it and be like, huh, I believe that. And that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Even when I had like certain friends peer review stuff, they gave me like a straight warning, like being like, yeah, I think no matter what you say in this specific video, people are gonna take your word, like, and they might use it in a way that you might not initially intend. I'm referring to the Lonzu video. I'm not gonna tell who it is, but they helped a lot with the video. I had to be very careful of how I wrote it. It's kind of scary, so I have to be a bit joking when I say stuff now. So if I say like a stupid ass comment about like, you know, Love Life character being bad, I gotta preface it being like, it's a joke. Respect member of a community in such a short time. It was a short time, but it definitely did go back a bit further actually, because I was making Love Life videos in 2024. We have one from Magico Imagi saying, has Love Life opened any doors of opportunity for you? Love Life is the reason I got into video editing, the whole music videos and such, and I was big into the Love Life community with fan projects and such, and so there was a bunch of editing of like music videos and such that really spoke to me, and that sort of like encouraged me to get into motion graphics. And I use those motion graphics to make edits, and I use those edits as portfolio to send to people who wanted editors, and that's how I got my job with the Genshin YouTuber Twanto, which helped me get a bunch of editing experience. So I guess Love Life opened doors like in terms of like my whole editing career, and partially what I'm doing right now. I was kind of curious. I actually asked this person if they mean Love Life in the series or Love Life as in the videos I've done on Love Life in the channel, because I could talk about Love Life as in terms of videos, because well, Love Life videos have done incredibly well, and it gets to a point where I actually see people discussing it on Twitter, and that's kind of scary. I don't like thinking about that, but this is our last question for right now. This comes from Serotonin Serum asking, what's the meaning behind your username? I like it, in a silly profile picture, very eye-catching. I'll answer the second half. That comes from my friend Saiful. She drew this for me like a really long time ago for free. I should probably pay her. I'm sorry, Saiful. It was with regard, it was like in terms of the whole Booba meme. If I can show it here, Genshin Impact. Booba! I've just kept it as my profile picture for years now. I think I've said it since like 2022, I think? No, 2023, 2022, 2023. Something within that time span, but my username actually comes from my family, because I love noodles, I love pho, I love ramen, I love noodle soup, I love noodle everything. And so my parents actually called me Noodle as a nickname. Well, back then it was Noodle Boy, and I just sort of inherited that nickname because it's a really cool nickname, being called Noodle, and because I love noodles. It works out well. And so I sort of carried that name when I went online. Although back then I used to be known as Awesome Cookie, if anyone remembers that. But on Discord and other stuff, I was known as Noodle, and so it just sort of kept and stayed the same the entire time. And I like being called Noodle now. But yeah, that's all the questions we're gonna be answering today. If I didn't answer a question, there's probably a reason for it. It's gonna be probably secrets for potential video ideas. But I want to take this last minute to thank you all for those who have been watching. It's been a very long journey. I went for the channel archive, checking the analytics and such, and being like, damn, we really got to this point, you know? I remember the last few days of December 2024 just begging, not beg, actually was, yeah, no, fuck it, I'm doubling down. I was begging for 1,000 subscribers. I want 1,000 subscribers. We're not even having to wait to the year yet. We've already double, tripled that. And my goal is 10K. My goal is 10K. It is really strange getting to this point that I have people that are willing to watch my videos to listen to me, and that's scary but also relieving, knowing that I have a voice that's able to be heard, which is something I've wanted for a very long time. Sometimes it's hard to, you know, see the number as a number, like, you know, people be like, oh, 100 views on YouTube sucks, and I'm like, 100 views? That's 100 people that watched your video, and that's, you know, sometimes people don't comment, sometimes people don't like. You got to accept that, you know. Some people are on YouTube TV watching that shit, bro. They can't comment or like, and you know, it's gotta make me realize a little bit sometimes, you know, just getting based in reality for a second when I'm so indulged in the whole numbers game and stuff like that. But no, at the end of the day, it's about people. To anyone who's watching this, if you feel encouraged or inspired to take this leap, do what needs to be done. And what does that mean? You'll figure it out for yourself. We got a lot of big plans for this year. I'm still not done. I still got things to say. I still got things to do. And you know, we shift up, we shift down, we shift back up again. Hopefully we can shift higher than last time. But at the core of it, this channel is me. And I don't want to stop being me. Yeah. Thank you. And if you like this video, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. That sounds really weird to say now. I've never directly said that. Smash that sub button. Chesto!